Your computer is a mess. All of your folders, all of your files, they're a mess. We need to fix it. File management and file organization. How do we do it? How do we do it well? And the very simple answer is that you need a system. A system is a simple set of rules that you can follow and follow consistently. And that way, whenever you think, where should this file go? Or whenever you think, where can I find that one thing? The answer to those questions are the same answer, and you can find your file you have an answer. You have an obvious, intuitive answer. Think of it like being in your kitchen. Where is my bread knife? Right? Oh, it's right over here. I have it. Think about go to an Airbnb or a stranger's kitchen or something, and you're just like, okay, where are the things here? And you don't know where anything is. There's a system, but you don't know it. Right? The solution to that is labels, which is naming all of your folders well, but you want to be in your kitchen. You want to always put things back in the same location. So what are the goals of a good organization system for your files? Of course, you know where you can put basically anything. You know where you can find basically anything. It's easy to back up. It's easy to search through or scan. It's future-proof. You don't have to change it or change it over time. And it's intuitive enough that somebody with a little bit of searching could figure it out through reasonably intuitive, educated guesses. Right? If you do that, you'll have a good system. There aren't that many decisions you need to make when you organize things. And the biggest one you make is, in what way do you divide your content? Do you divide your stuff? And the main ways to divide it up are by time, by client, or by project, by software. So by time is like, when was this thing created? When did I make this thing? Let me put it in a folder organized by year, by month, by day. This works super well for like photos. That's how I organize my photos. I also add keywords and metadata and geotags and searchable, the subjects of the photos, so I can do other things too. But primarily, most of my photos, and that's tens of thousands of photos, they're organized by date. That works really well for something like photos that have a time captured, but it doesn't work so well for things that you work on over a period of time, like an essay that's due 3 weeks from now, or a Unity project that's really big and has a start and end date that are like a month apart. Where does that go in your system? It doesn't hold as much water. The second way to organize things is by client. If the way in which you think about something is always going to be sort of through a certain lens, through a certain delivery, destination, then organizing your files in that way makes sense. I say client because I'm thinking back to photo shoots that I did for clients that I've, took out of my year, month, day system and kept in a separate area for my client work. Whenever what's their face would call me years later, hey, do you still have those files? I could just go find their name and find it. Easy, made sense. Did that for years. Classes are clients. Your teachers that you're submitting your essays, your projects to would be your client in this case. So organizing all of your coursework for a particular course in the same location, it just kind of makes sense. So client-based, class-based for students. And then lastly is project-based or software-based, which is keeping things organized by the tools in which you use them, right? So I have Word documents everywhere. I don't organize my Word documents by the tool. I don't have one folder for like Word documents. But I do have one folder for all my Unity projects. I keep all my Unity projects in the same place. Makes it really easy to back up. And that's especially useful for software that has really, really large and complicated file structures. Things like Unity, Unreal, video editing, things where you're going to bring in lots of source items into a folder, all of that in one place, and they can get really large. I think it's nice to separate that from your coursework folders as students because you don't want Microsoft OneDrive to be backing up a 3 gigabyte 3D model you downloaded, and your Netflix is lagging and you don't know why, and it's because your computer is doing all this synchronizing stuff, and that's a pain in the butt. So keeping those all together, very useful. It also makes backing them up much more useful, and you might back up those projects into your coursework separately, on separate time frames. So having them separated helps. So time-based, client-based, project-based. That's it. Let's take a look at mine. I mentioned photos. I've got some photos in a year, month, date folder, very searchable, very easy. My tens of thousands of photos are on a different hard drive. This is my work computer. For coursework, for me that would be inside of a OneDrive, course documents, the name of the document. You might want to organize that by semester since you're only usually looking at some classes in any given semester, but works pretty well. Makes a lot of sense. In there, your assignment documents, you can find them all. Very easy. Lastly would be your projects. For me, I think of it as projects, my Python projects and my big Photoshop things, my Touch Designer things, right? I've a lot of that. I use Touch Designer all the time. My Blender, my, Unity projects, right? What's nice about this is that it's the exact same structure on an external hard drive. So on that external hard drive, there's a projects folder. I have my projects folder. I tell the backup software to put everything from here into there. And then I go to my laptop and I say, hey, your projects folder with the same file names, put everything from here into there. And I don't have, conflicts, right? All of my Unity projects from my laptop and from my desktop, they just kind of went into the same folder on the backup software, and it just works, and it's just clean and easy. And it's just really nice, and you should do that. So fix your file organization system. One day, sit down, at the beginning of the semester, which is why this video is given to you now, organize everything, come up with your system, decide, make your decisions, think back, where should this be? Okay, right? And the answer to that question is probably the answer you want, and it's probably not your desktop. Stop putting things there. Because it doesn't carry meaning. The location doesn't carry meaning on its own. Anyway, have a system. Have a system. That's it. That's all I got.